Standard Podcast, myself, along with my good buddy Smitty, and of course, AzureEffect is here in spirit. Sorry, guys. Sorry for clearing my throat right there, but had a little, y'all know how it is when you get a little mucus or something going on. Really quick there. There it is again. Hold on, guys. Let me get a small sip of water. Sorry. But what's up, guys? We ready to talk. We got a lot to talk about tonight. As you can see, man, we did good with getting started. Closer to 8 o'clock. I know, guys. One day we'll get it right at 8. But come on, man, y'all. We got stuff. We got life. As long as we close, y'all should be cool. Because believe it or not, Smitty, I get people all the time saying, "Man, y'all don't never start." I know, but listen, we don't do this. This is not our main gig. This ain't First Take where Smitty and I are contractually. Not even just contract, but it's not like we getting paid big bucks and this is all we do. We have other life. You know what I mean? So we fit this in when we can and we try to be as punctual as possible, but y'all got to bear with us. Come on, we all human. But welcome. A lot to talk about tonight. I'll dive into the topics here in a moment. But first, like we always do, let's get this out the way. I'm going to throw it to Smitty, man. We're going to ask Smitty how his week was and anything he might want to share that's not one of the topics. I'll do the same, and then we'll get right to it. So, Smitty, what's happening, man? How was your week? Anything you want to address before we dive into the meat of the show?
Shoot, had a good week, good week, productive week and everything. Family's good and they're safe and everything. Yeah. And oh yeah, by the way, I know this is like more of a minor thing, but still a major thing at the same time. Shout out to my man, our dude, Scott OG. You know what I'm
Oh, we
saying?
going there, guys.
Mega,
That's one of the
mega move.
topics. We going there.
Mega move, man. I mean, to come with the whole "I'm coming home" music and everything. That's the big thing. Uh, you know what? Great basketball games. Dumb decisions happened last night, but great basketball
Oh,
games.
my goodness. Did they, though?
Jazz, Utah, and the Nuggets. That was a battle. That was good. That was real good basketball game right there. So that was a hard fought series. For the Thunder to go out the way they did, honestly, it should have been a wrap. They should have had that. They should have had that all wrapped up. There ain't no way in the world no PJ Tucker got no business giving uh, 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 Steven Adam any kind of problems at all whatsoever. Like, he's a 7-footer. He's way undersized. Anthony Davis is about to eat him alive. You know what I'm saying? In the next series, it's about to be a wrap. That's as far as they went.
Yeah.
And even like what my man Sim said, I think you had said it on Twitter yesterday. The interesting thing is you have a key stretch going down the stretch of the game, and you don't have Westbrook in there. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But
You know one thing about Westbrook, though, that I also said on Twitter? Y'all know, well, some of y'all might not know this, but Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players right now because of his demeanor. Remember, guys, one of my, if not the favorite players of all time is Allen Iverson. Y'all know why. Russell has that. That I'm going to attack every game. But the key thing I said about Westbrook, I never feel like he taking a good shot. Never. He, like, if you watch the game, sometimes he be so erratic, and I'm like, come on, Russ, we ain't need that right then. I know that killer instinct is there, but, and I say we, like, I'm not a Houston fan. I'm just speaking in general, but just wanted to say that really quick while Smitty was talking about Westbrook. Go ahead, Smitty. What else you got, man?
yeah, that's basically, those are the key things I got. Like, so we're gonna dive deeper into the Scott OG thing, but that's a huge move, especially considering next gen like is right there. And you make this move too, and they got Rob Jones as well. So they got two
Yeah.
key guys from 2K over to EA, which we would assume safe to. I'm gonna be very, go all the way out on the limb, but I'm assuming it's for an NBA Live title. Because for them to make that move, but yeah, we're gonna dive into that deeper. But that was the big thing, the biggest thing right there. So, But I'll throw it to you, man.
Yeah, guys, and we will dive into that first because y'all already know how the Madden talks go when we get into Madden. So we'll definitely dive right into the OG move and Rob Jones and things like that. Really quick, as far as the week, like Smitty said, man, everything was cool. Family was good. Had a minor sad moment about an hour or so ago. We had to go to my son's school, because he's doing the virtual thing, and we had to, meet his first grade teacher and take his Chromebook in there that they provide and all of that. So, she can make sure that some of the students know how to access and kind of giving us the whole tour. But it was really sad, man, to see, just everybody masked up and the fact that this is the way that it has to be delivered. And even you can hear it and see it in the teacher's face, like, I'm gonna do the best I can with your kids, and it's weird. This is a weird time, guys. Weird. I've never lived in anything like this before, so it's still crazy. It's a little bit sad, man, because at the end of the day, the kids still don't understand. We can understand. All of us that are here watching the show, we're grown-ups for the most part, and even some of you that might not be grown-ups, you're at least teenagers. We can understand. We can maneuver and get through it, but a 6 and 7 year old, they don't get it. You know what I mean? And it's going to be very interesting with him doing that virtual thing. But it was just a little sad moment there. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's enough there to let you know that it's real. We're in some crazy times right now. Other than that, is there anything else I wanted to talk about outside of the main topics? I don't believe so. Just to share a little bit with, agreeing with what Smitty said about Adams and Tucker. I mean, clearly as it started posting everywhere on Twitter, and I'll be honest in saying I didn't see it in real time because I'm going to be honest and say this as well. A lot of times, guys, y'all know how social media is. Everybody's the expert. So a lot of times you get all these posts, oh, they should have did this, they should have did that. Everybody didn't see it. The reality is somebody posted it, and then everybody saw that, and then they try to act like they peeped it. You know what I'm saying? We know that happens. So I'm going to be honest here and say I didn't see it in real time, but when they showed it back, bruh, Steven Adams, on 2 of them possessions, he clearly had an opportunity to score, and they missed him. And I'm going to say this too. Houston honestly ain't had no business being in that situation. I love Chris Paul, on the floor. Some people have their opinions about him, but I love, who Chris Paul is as a basketball player, even, personality-wise. I don't know him personally, but y'all know what I'm saying. But that team is young, but, man, when you have James Harden and a competent Russell Westbrook, y'all supposed to win that. I'm not going to say it was disappointing, but if I'm a Rockets fan, I'm a little concerned that game went 7. And it literally came down to literally a possession. Right? And again, this ain't no knock to OKC, but they not a powerhouse team, or they some young gunners. They got some talent over there. I like the young talent that they have. I like big boy, who we just talked about. Why am I forgetting his name that fast? Steven, I'm forgetting his last name that quick. But y'all know who I'm talking about. We just talked about him. Yeah, there you go. Got him down in the middle. You got a veteran, savvy, PG, you know what I'm saying, running the show. They going to be all right. Schroeder, that turned up in this playoffs. They got some young pieces there, but still, in my opinion, when you got 2 dogs like Westbrook and Harden, y'all supposed to be able to get out of that series, man. A lot easier than you did. So think about who they're going to start facing. I was the main one saying that the Lakers, to me, remember when the first game against Portland, I was like, ooh, I don't know. The Lakers ain't making shots. They might be in trouble. And they started getting their footing, going a little bit more later on in the series. But I don't think them Rockets going to beat the Lakers. I think they're probably a better team. And I don't know, man. Again, like I said, if you're a Rockets fan, considering all you gave up to get Westbrook, and y'all struggled like that against one of the lower tier teams, It's not a good sign.
Oh.
Other than that, anything I got to say about the East, Smitty? Watch out for Miami, man.
Giannis.
Giannis, yeah.
Giannis ain't showing up.
He not,
What's
man.
going on?
He not. He's not.
Like,
He's not. I mean, that's
you
all
gotta
I can say.
step
I
it
ain't even
up.
got to go deeper than
Yeah.
that. He's not.
Like,
The Greek freak, playing like the Greek geek. Just trying to throw some funny out there,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, you got to show up, man. Listen, you got to show. Listen, if you are a superstar, you got to at least be consistent. Even if you don't have a mega game, you at least got to be consistent when the lights are on. So we'll see. But other than that, man, let's dive into this OG. I don't know if he's in here. We'll have to check, but I haven't seen a comment. But first thing I'm going to do, man, let me throw a round of applause out there to OG. Gonna let that play for a second. And listen, the first thing that I identified with this move is deeper than just video games. It's what I tell you guys all the time. I'm going to go slightly off the path, just a touch, and then I'll get back to the video games. But this is the stuff that you need to pay attention to when you go at guys like Clint. You threaten them threaten their lives and wishing ill will on them and their family. And when you used to attack Rex, and you have things to say about A-Dub and even Swami now. I mean, anybody, right? Any of the Madden devs. It just goes to show you at the end of the day, these are people with real lives and careers. Yes, of course, you want games to be great. We are the consumer. We can demand that, and we should continue doing that. But at the end of the day, it's not really any... I don't want to say, when I say loyalty, don't take this the wrong way, guys, but it's really not any loyalty to the brand, so to speak. These guys are going to do what's best for them and what's best for their family. Because I remember seeing people say, why would Clint, take that position at EA, after Rex left? Why would he, continue to grow? Why not? These are just jobs at the end of the day. Just like y'all got jobs. And I've seen people already in referring to OG, man, that's stupid. Why would he leave 2K? And 2K is this, the best basketball game on earth, and da-da-da-da-da. He's dumb for going to EA. Really? He's dumb for going somewhere where he's about to be the creative director? At the end of the day, guys, it's just video games. I keep telling y'all that. And maybe that's just me maturing over the years. These are just video games. So OG's loyalty is not necessarily with a 2K Sports or with a Take-Two Interactive. And he is a very loyal guy, good guy. But what I'm speaking to is, in a sense, the loyalty factor ain't really there when you're talking about working for a corporation. You're going to go where the best opportunity is, where the best decision is made for your family, and where you getting the most paper. Let's pause for a moment and remember that. Whoever giving you that guap and you still able to do what you like to do, that's where you going. That's easy. So I say that to say this, man, because I think sometimes we take a very narrow, and don't get offended, folks, but I think as a whole, gamers sometimes take a very narrow-minded opinion when we start talking about certain things like that. Like when you start saying he's dumb for leaving 2K. Listen, man, I'm willing to promise you, I can 100% say this with confidence because I know OG. Remember, we go back, and Smitty as well, we go back with OG way before he was a dad. This is a guy that played professional basketball, good basketball player, I might add. He played on a professional level. He ended up looking on YouTube, and he found all of these crazy sim-minded guys, and he discovered the sim standard. He discovered all of us that from back in the day, Apex, everybody. I ended up being on I was invited to Czar's podcast one night, and OG was on there, and we chopped it up, and we've been cool ever since then. Then years, fast forward after that, here, me and Smitty are now, game changers for EA. OG gets a job there. We meet him in person, and we've been kicking it ever since. But my point in saying all of that is I can 100% and confidently say this to you guys. His passion for the sport and simulation gaming ain't gone nowhere. Just because he's left the game that's perceived to be the better product, and now he's going to work with a company that not a lot of people are happy with right now. But at the end of the day, it ain't about that. It's about what's best for him and his career. So, like I said, I got off the rails for a second, but I think it's important for guys like us to address those things and not just be the status quo. Now let's talk about the game. Like Smitty said, we can assume it's for NBA Live. Now, I got questions, Smitty. I got some questions. So we know how things work at good old EA Sports. The same way we say that apparently it hasn't mattered too much that Smitty, Azure, myself, Shopmaster, let's throw some names out there. Mark Rollins, Sean Mason, Bobby, Ronnie, and I'm
Derek,
not talking about New
Mo,
Edition. Yeah,
like Derek,
Mo, Derek,
Thurls back then,
M. Friss before he was.
M. Dot.
We've been saying this stuff, right?
Yeah.
We found out very quickly that it didn't matter that much that we were in the building. A mad scientist, because we quickly found out. Oh, okay. So what we basically are, we're giving feedback at a closer distance, but now that we've talked to these developers, whoa, I didn't know you shared the same ideas that we had. I didn't know that, Rex. I had no idea. Whoa, Clint, I didn't know. I didn't know you guys wanted to do way more than even with A-Dub. Y'all got to do like this in here? Oh, didn't know. So when we quickly found out that it wasn't about the devs, it was them guys that tell them what to do. So the question I have is, this question is so multi-layered. Just to give you guys a small flashback, I keep saying that I think next level, talking about Madden really quick, is going to be a different story. I keep saying that, right? And all of y'all are saying, man, you on that ledge by yourself. And I said, all right, I'll take that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I got a feeling something is happening at EA. I don't know quite what. And Smitty knows who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say his name just to protect his identity. There's another person that used to be at EA, left and went to work for somewhere outside of gaming, and now he's back. One of our good buddies. A guy who pretty much was the one who was responsible for us coming there. Not Rex. Smitty knows who I'm talking about. He's back at EA now. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh, okay.
And now OG at the dev level is back. Rob Jones, which Brett Lee actually told us here before, he worked with Rob Jones when he was at EA. Honestly, I didn't know Rob Jones' history. I only knew him from 2K. I didn't know he worked at EA. So it makes me look at this like, all right, is this a situation where these guys are being offered a great opportunity? They're going to do what's best for their family, which I applaud them for. But is it also that EA is trying to build something here and trying to finally get themselves back together? I asked this question, too, because of Fix Madden franchise, right? We already know now if we didn't believe it before, we know now that the ear of corporate is at least being pulled on a little. They know what's happening now with all the hashtags and such, and we'll get into some of that later. So I'm thinking, are you going to allow him to be the creative director? Or is he still going to be stifled? Because y'all know how I feel about the decision makers at Tiburon. I feel like something goes on there that doesn't happen at EA Canada for whatever reason. It just doesn't. It seems like EA Canada as a whole produces better full bodies. You know, I'm always talking in music terms, but you hear people say full bodies of work. That's how I feel that EA's games are more of the full product as a whole is better than Madden and NBA Live that have ever been on this generation. So that's my question, Smitty, and it's deep. It's like, is this move really going to benefit the game? What's the motivation? You know, what's the motivation behind it in terms of EA? Because EA know who's. Like, think about this, guys. EA knows exactly who he is. This is a guy who left the building and he openly said, "No, biggest difference between EA 2K is creative control. We have creative freedom at 2K. 2K allows you to be great." He has said this stuff. So, knowing that, right, and you're willing to come back, excuse me, and again, I'm not gonna sell OG cheap and say, "Oh, he did it just for the money." I don't believe that. He probably was doing all right at 2K. He's been there a good amount of years now. But that title, and I'm willing to bet if you were a developer that used to work in that building, that part of your negotiation when you come back is like, "Look, what's up now? How we doing business here? Because y'all know I worked here before. What's going to be different?" So it's a lot of questions. But the fact that Rob Jones is back now, and you know, I think what people are saying is he's been a senior producer for the last 3 months. I had no idea that. And final question: are they working on Live? That we don't know. We would assume, but we don't know. We don't know. I think Madden already has a creative director, which I think, did Clint take that spot, or was that Mike Young?
No, it's Mike Young.
Mike Young is the creative director.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the head gameplay director, Clint.
A lot of questions, but all in all, man, before I throw it to Smitty, listen. I think this is a great move for EA if they're doing it. I hate to give EA the benefit of the doubt because they haven't earned it. But if they're doing it in an effort to rebuild the essence of what they used to be, especially at NBA Live, great. Because remember, OG was there for NBA Live 14, and he introduced basically that dribbling system, which then started showing up in 2K. He's the guy for the job. He is the man for the job. He knows basketball through and through. So if they brought him and Rob Jones in to bring Live back to greatness, applause to EA.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait. Or here's the last thing: is there something going on at 2K that we need to know about? You got to ask all these questions, like why were those two so eager or so willing to leave? You know, EA approached them and just said, "Look, we'll write a blank check," or was the opportunity there and these guys were looking to leave? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to ask. But I could go on for days about that, man. But
yeah,
what are your initial thoughts, man, Smitty? What does this mean, man? Is it good, bad? You don't know? What?
it could be good. I can't fully say because we don't know all the details. We don't know what is Scott OG gameplay director of. Because, and this is from me talking with other people, adding Rob Jones definitely stirs the pot a bit as far as it being a basketball game. But like we've heard Scott OG say in here before, he does have great football acumen too. So
He does.
He could be a creative director for Madden. Who knows? There could be some shifts in the atmosphere with that. And he could be coming over to help with that on a next gen level. That's possible. Now, it could just be a coincidental thing that Rob Jones is here and he's working on live, and OG could be working on Madden or something else. It's possible. Now, the one thing that makes me kind of swing the pendulum a little bit more toward the basketball side is because of the fact that Rob Jones was already there for a few months. He's already been there for a few months. And then OG comes. He could have possibly recruited, like, hey man, look, you know what I'm saying? like, come on back over, man. It's gonna be sweeter this time around. And see, that's the other thing. Whatever they're doing, he has to have it conditioned. There's got to be conditional provisions, things like that. Like, I'm gonna take from my man Swaggy, because I was talking to him about this the other day, and he's like, "Yo, it's like Fast and the Furious." You know what I mean? Like, the government gave him like, "Hey, we got a team of soldiers and everything. These guys will help you out with what you need." He's like, "No. I'll bring in who I want to bring in. I got my guys that I want to bring in, and I need them so that way we can get this job done the right way." And it's that kind of deal where it's like he has to be given that control to really be a creative director. And Rob Jones is really going to be the senior producer and really be able to do that. Because if not, I'm like this, man. OG, I know you got your family and all that stuff and everything. Listen, don't buy a house in Florida, rent one. Because if they on that tip, go hit them up, pull a Mike Wayne, yo, Novato. You know what I'm saying? Like, these cats playing around and then going right back. Go right back.
That's another good point too, Smitty.
So
Mike
yeah,
Wong, I mean, he's been through this experience. So it's
right.
so many so many questions I have, man, as far as what got OG back to EA.
Yeah. So, but see, the thing with Wong is that he went from a great situation down to a not so great situation. OG was in the not so great situation. He was there for Live 13 and the debacle that was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was there for Live 14 and everything, like Sim had said, before leaving. And he was there for like a little bit of 2K15, and then all of 2K16 onward, he was on the full swing. So it's like, I don't know, because they gotta let these cat, like, that can't be stressed enough. And shout out to my girl, NBA Live girl in there. She said that, like, they gotta let them work. And that's why I'm there 5,000%. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to be able to do the work the way they want to. If not, these cats is going, like, they had to show them they had to have shown them whatever it is they working on. They shown them some kind of prototype. They shown them something, and it was like, look, this is what we got, and we want y'all to be able to do blase, blase, blah, whoop, whoop. All right, but I'm being paid X. I'm gonna be able to do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta let me run this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, OG is a humble guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
for him to get on the phone, whatever, email, Zoom call, whatever, and be like, "Oh, I'll come if." You know what I'm saying? You want me to uproot my fam and everything else and all that stuff? Yeah, this is what you this is what must happen. It's not even a matter of if. Otherwise, forget it. So that's what I firmly, like, I'm like 85%. I'm like 85-15 on that one. Like, the conversation had to have been that kind of tone. And I'm pretty sure the same thing with Rob. Same thing with Rob. I rocked with y'all before. I left y'all and went over to 2K for a reason. Now y'all you want me back in the fray, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll get back in the fray if, you know what I'm saying? I'll get back in the fray if you guys show that love. the way that we need to build this game. Like I said, me, because remember, and I'm not saying it's a clash or nothing like that, but Connor Dugan, and me and Sim know who that is. He is still, at least it says on his Twitter profile, he still is the creative director for NBA Live. So if this is an NBA Live project that these guys are working on, what's happening there? I mean, OG has to be taking over. Like we sold 14 million copies. I'm part of that team. My game, the game I worked on. You know what I'm saying? what you about to? No. See, I remember you was above me before, but now I'm that guy. I came back, and that now you gotta slide over. Was it like that movie Captain Phillips? What my man said, I'm the captain now. Like, look at me, I'm the captain now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be that kind of demeanor. Like they gotta let him run it. It can't be taught. They can't pull no stunt like how EA did this morning, posting numbers and trying to use that as a reason to make whatever game it is they're working on and saying, oh, it's a good game because look at these engagement stats. That means it's incredible. No. The game has to be whatever they do. Now I'll say this and I'll throw it back to you, Sim. Whatever they do, whatever it is that these dudes are working on, it's got to slap incredibly. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that it's got to match. See, I know we're assuming that it's going to be NBA Live, but taking the assumption that it's NBA Live, okay, we'll just assume that for the time being. If this is an NBA Live project, okay, and this is what's going on, it has to hit. It has to be a critically acclaimed media success. That's literally that is literally it. It has to be a media success. You see how Madden got railroaded the way it did? See, Madden can do that, and unfortunately, they can endure that backlash. Live can't, and it hasn't. Multiple cancellations. All these hiatuses and stuff like that. Oh, we're going back in the lab because we're going to bring something for you. This like the second or third time now you've done that. You can't keep doing that. Like people are okay with, well, for the most part, they are. They're okay with one basketball title being out there. Like I said, 2K sold 14 million. 2K20 sold 14 million copies. With issues, bugs, glitches, and all. 14 million. They outperforming Madden. Yeah. I would say probably 2-1.
Easy.
So it's like, and you ain't even factor in the microtransactions. So no, man, like 2K, I mean not 2K, excuse me. These brothers got to be able to do whatever the heck they need to be able to do. If this is what the case scenario is. Shout out to my man E-Ray, our dude E-Ray. But they got to be able to do what they need to, man. And it's got to be a great success. I'm not saying, no, this is what I meant to say. I'm not saying it's got to have a stellar franchise mode. I'm not saying that it's got to be, the gameplay's got to be 100% perfect or anything like that. No, but it has to have a few key things that are like, Daddy, if this is, honey, hold on, baby. Here, stand over there. Huh? Well, then ask mommy. When mommy said, ask you. No. Mommy can go get that for you, okay? Daddy's busy. Thank you, honey. All right. All right. I thought she was asleep, but all right. Anyway, so, no, it doesn't. The game doesn't have to have everything in it. It just has to have some good things in it. Quality basketball, authentic, organic gameplay. If that's what if we could have that or something along that line, and just basic depth immersive, at least having one mode that's going to be real immersive, like a park or a live run or something like
The
that.
one.
Yeah, right. And then next year you blow it all the way out, because I understand it's a return game, but you got to make a return worthwhile. Like, I know we've been gone. This is what we got. Bang. That's what has to happen. If you guys come out and you just fizzle and say, "Oh well, see, the thing is," and no, we gonna see right through that. Just like the stuff with Madden, we know it ain't the devs' fault
Yeah.
with Madden. We gonna talk about that soon enough, but we know it's not the devs' fault. But still, it's like, well, you got to give me more than that at this point. I got to be able to sink my teeth into something. I know OG knows what we want and everything like that. And once again, this is an internal guy on dev teams that knows what's up. He's coming from a winning championship title. And now he's saying, you know what? I want to go to this startup over here. I want a project. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So if this is what he signed up for, they got to let these dudes do it. And I understand saying like Live King saying EA never gonna get rid of basketball. I mean, listen, if they don't do it on the console space, they killing it on live mobile. So yeah, you're right. They won't let go of basketball. They don't have a reason to. Their mobile game is outperforming their console title.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's ludicrous. Just saying. People don't even care to play Ultimate Team in live on console. Imagine that. But they'll pay all the money in the world for these cards and packs and everything else on the mobile, but they don't give a care. That's how far behind NBA Live basketball is at this point. But I'll throw it to you, Sim.
Yeah, man. I'll just add to what Smitty said. I don't really have much to say. I said my piece earlier, but where I agree with Smitty is, again, if you're not allowing these guys to build, it's like, come on, man. And again, that's not reflected on OG or Rob. I said in my little piece there, I said at the end of the day, these guys are going to do what's best for them. Even if, let's say, OG does know that it's still going to be the same on EA, but them pockets fat. At the end of the day, if that's what's best for, look, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But just speaking to EA, it's the same frustration we had with Madden. Y'all got to stop with. I just don't know what it is at Tiburon, man, that holds them back. I don't get it. I don't get it. As much as people want to blame Mutt and all of that, well, what about Live? Live hadn't gotten to a point where their ultimate team was this money make. Like all you have is the game, and why you can't get that right? You see what I'm saying? Like, why you handicapping the devs with that game that is not the cash cow? I don't get it. So hopefully, man, one would hope that this rehire is for a reason, and EA got their head on straight, and they gonna try to bring Live back to what it was, revive Live, so to speak. And I know they said next gen, Smitty, but are they saying like this year, or they're just saying they'll return on next gen? They're not saying like this year, right?
For who?
For Live. They're not talking about
No,
it being.
there's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing slated for now. So
Got you.
I would assume that this is next gen at some point. There's
Mid
nothing
next year,
for it.
yeah.
We don't even know. Like, that's the whole thing. We don't know if there's a title that's being worked on. We don't know what these guys are hired for. It just says on Scott OG's profile, which I'm pretty sure you saw that on Twitter, it just says creative director at EA Sports.
Yeah.
What? You know what I mean?
Because I saw
So
some people say there was a post that says something about they'll be on next gen, and I'm assuming they're just saying in general, like, we will be on that platform.
Yeah, I would assume that. Because they did, like, people shared on Twitter once again. People doing the homework, the legwork, and everything. But they did post up like there's job positions open in regards to the NBA Live franchise. currently.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. So then that's what they would allude to that conclusion. So
And I see my man is in the building, so I'm just gonna recap really, really quickly what I said earlier in case OG missed it. Like I said, guys, look, all of the people that, and I don't even know if OG has seen it, but I've seen it. You know, all the people that's saying, "Oh, he's dumb for leaving 2K. Why would you leave?" At the end of the day, guys, it's about your life, what's best for your family, what's best for your career path, as well as what's best for that wallet. At the end of the
right,
day, that's what it's about. These are just games. You know, these OG is a man just like most of you are. He has a wife who is a woman like some of you are in here listening. Like shout out to NBA Live Girl. You know, they are a couple with kids. So at the end of the day, what matters to them is what's best for them. It ain't about an allegiance or an alliance with 2K. Ain't about none of that, man. It's about what's best for his family. So please don't do that. Please don't be the selfish gamer and mad at somebody for. I mean, this is a huge opportunity, I would assume. Come on, man. So if it turns out that this ain't really about nothing in terms of bettering the game, I ain't gonna be mad at OG. I'm gonna be still looking at the EA execs like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? You got this man in the building. But that's all I want to say on that. And we can move on. Talk about Madden NFL 21. Man, boy, where do we want to start? Man, let me see. It's so many angles I want to attack with this thing. I guess I'll start with this. So I did a video earlier today. And let me start off with this, guys. It's okay to disagree. I love dialogue. I love different opinions. I love chopping it up. You know, we do it right here on the show all the time. But what I don't understand is how people. Let me phrase it like this. I'm gonna set the stage. Smitty and I and Azure. But I'll say Smitty and I because you guys, are with us every week, even, times when Azure is not here. So you're more familiar with me and Smitty being the weekly, right? We have officially been going down to EA Sports in the Game Changer program / influencer program, whatever they call it now, since 2012. In this time, we have learned the inner workings of EA Tiburon. Not so much EA corporate, a little, because I'm one of those people, right? I don't just stop at my level. I rub shoulders with everybody, so I talk to different people so I can learn about this. I talk to the Battlefield people so I can learn about that business and how they do things. And so I can kind of learn the corporate structure of EA, the corporation. But speaking specifically about Tiburon, Smitty and I have learned that organization, that building, not just EA, but that building in and out. We know how these people feel, those people feel, that person feels. We know the structure, right? So we should be people that you guys really listen to. Don't have to agree, but you should really be able to listen to us for the information. Just the information. That ain't no brag. That ain't a boast. That ain't a pumping your chest out or nothing like that. That is me literally saying, dog, we got information. Even if you don't rock with us, that's the key thing. Who else gonna tell you that? Who else but me? Who else gonna tell you, yo, you might not even like me, but I got some jewels for you. We got information. So you should always pay attention to what we say. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is, it's funny how people will rock with you strongly, right? They'll say, oh man, you my favorite. Da, 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 da. As soon as you do something slightly different, then what they believe in, oh, they go completely left. They attack you so crazy. And I'm like, how, if you rock with somebody, how you so quick to dismiss them? Like, haven't they earned the right, or, haven't they earned enough from you for you to be like, well, let me see where he's going with this? You understand what I'm saying? Think about your favorite actor or your favorite music artist or whatever. And you seem to feel like you know what they're about, right? Or it's just somebody in general, somebody you work with. You know what they're about. You know what they stand for. So when they do something that's a little different, shouldn't you at least be like, let me see where they're going with this, because I know how they normally are. Right? Small example that ain't got nothing to do with gaming. I'm a fan of the Joe Budden podcast, right? I've always liked Joe Budden because Joe Budden says what he wants. He's very intelligent. And it's funny, he doesn't appear to be that way to most, but he's very intelligent. So I've always paid attention to what he has said, even when he was rapping, way back in the day. So fast forward, I'll make a long story very short. For you guys that don't know, they have a podcast on Spotify. They did the deal. They got the bag. The 2-year contract is up. And now Joe is like, nah, I'm not re-signing with y'all for various reasons. I'm not going to give all that here. Y'all have to find that out for yourself. But he's smart in doing this. But the funny thing is, there was so many people that support him. Even celebrities went at him, saying, oh, that's stupid. You don't know what you're doing. Y'all messed up. And I'm like, yo, don't y'all think that this guy knows what he's doing? He showed you the blueprint. That whole move to Spotify was unheard of. They turned down millions to get millions, and this time they're doing it again. But my point is, I'm like, nah, I think he got a trick up his sleeve. He's not a dummy. So just because he does something on the surface that appears to be awkward, I'm not going to automatically be like, he's dumb. So I say all that to give you my point. That's what y'all did to me today in the video. I'm like, yo, if you say anything out of the ordinary, y'all don't pay attention to the point. Like, how do you go left so quick? And I'm going to say some of that here tonight. Let's talk about this Metacritic stuff, right? What I said was, does the Metacritic score tell us the story? Does it hurt or does it help? And this is what I'm saying. In the video, I went on to say, let's look at some of these reviews. Now, it's a ton of them. But for one, there is a plethora of, matter of fact, I'm going to even show y'all. Give me a second, man. I'm going to pull up the site because I want you guys to see this as we're talking, right? But there's a overabundant amount of 0 scores, and I mean, just like you've never seen before. Let me pull it up, guys. I want y'all to see it. I want you to see it really quick, and then you'll be able to understand where I'm going with this. For you guys that may not have seen, the video I did today. 1 second, and this is going to help me make my point. Let's see. Here it is. I think I already have. Let me see here. I believe I already have a window here to show you guys. Give me a hot second. There it is. So you guys are seeing that, and you're not seeing me and Smitty right now. So just follow me. I'm just going to scroll a little bit, and then I'll come back. I'll show me and Smitty's ugly mugs to you guys again. I know y'all like them so much. But anyway, look at this. Look at all these zeros, man. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Now, like I told you guys, I'm not a person that I don't read headlines. Like, I'm not the headline guy. If I see an article come up, Smitty has lost his mind, I'm not gonna run away and say, yo, Smitty lost his mind. Yo, did you see Smitty lost his mind? Hey, did you hear? Did you see? Did you hear? Smitty lost his mind. No. I gotta hear more than that. I'm gonna read further in the article. I'm gonna hit Smitty. Smitty, what's going on? You know why? Because I know who Smitty is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a headline guy. So this to me was a red flag. I was like, what? I've never seen anything like this before. Mind you, keep in mind, I'm gonna show you guys 2 more pages, and then I want to get me and Smitty's, back on here because you can really see what we feel when you see us. Look at that score right there. Look, 0.3. Oh my God. Worst ever. All right, let's do one more page so you guys can see the theme of where I'm going with my little rant here. Not really a rant, but just trying to give you guys how I think. All right, that's enough. So let's get back to me and Smitty here. And now we're back. That's a red flag for me, man. First thing I said when I saw the score that was that low, and I kept hearing people saying how low it is, I was like, let me go see these scores. I want to see what these reviews are really saying. Why do I want to do that, you might ask? Well, like I was trying to explain in the video, if the feedback doesn't have any context, it's useless. Understand what I'm saying? Smitty and I know how it works at EA. Metacritic is important to them. We know that. Me and Smitty laugh at that sometimes when we was there. Like, it's important. That goes up the chain, bro. That goes up. People, investors and all, see this. Now, we might feel like, that ain't a real representation because remember we used to do it when the score was good. Y'all remember that? Y'all see how things change? Remember when the score was higher than we all thought? And we was like, man, y'all just looking at that Metacritic score and y'all thinking, see, the Madden community has amnesia sometimes. We used to say that. And then we all felt, man, they just thinking everything is everything. They cool. So why wouldn't it be the same way now? So the point I was making, the feedback got to say something. And I get what people are saying. Oh, man, the feedback, we've been doing it for years. People are fed up. I get it. But for once, we know for a fact that corporate EA is listening. Thank you, Twitter. Hashtag fix Madden franchise. That woke up the world. Guess what's trending right now? Let me go to Twitter. It's another one. It's the, where is it? I just saw it a little while ago. It's the not the drop EA. I mean, EA drop, NFL drop EA. It was another one that was relevant. I can't find it, but it was definitely trending a little while ago. Some of y'all might know it's another hashtag that's been out there for the last couple days. And again, not the NFL drop EA one. It's another one. Oh, in Madden Monopoly. That was trending.
Yeah, that's trending today.
It's trending. Yep. So, do you know what else? Again, folks, that will be trending and will be in the face of them? Metacritic. So the point I was making in the video that most of you missed, oh, Sim, cut it out. Oh, you trying to damage control. No, what I'm telling you is the feedback is irrelevant. Some of the stuff that they were saying, all of them comments that I've read, you have to say why the game is trash. Because when the community managers or whatever present it to the higher ups, first thing they're going to ask, remember, Rex Dixon told y'all this years ago, we got to convince these people what's wrong with the game. Remember? We have to convince them. We have to convince the higher ups in marketing. You got to have something that you can take to them and say, look, this is what's wrong with our game. One of the successful things that they've done recently is that, I'm forgetting the name of it, but Smitty knows what I'm talking about, that feedback thing that we've transitioned to now. Remember we were doing it with the beta? Forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
the voice something.
The voice, like user voice, player voice, like that.
One thing that they said they did with that, which I know they do, is they collectively look at what's ranked high and they start prioritizing. This is the same thing we need to happen now for once, that we know It's being paid attention to because of Twitter. But when they come in here and they see stuff that just says, inexcusable attempt once again by EA. Franchise is a bust. Gameplay is filled with bugs. Valid, but what are you saying? What's wrong with it? Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's no meat.
Yeah.
And now,
Right.
granted, there's some comments here, I'm sure, that is going into detail, but the only point I was trying to make is, bruh, this ain't it. This ain't gonna hit. It's not enough
Yeah.
here.
If
Like,
you go
oh God, go ahead,
like,
Smitty.
I'll just say this though. If you were able to be in a boardroom meeting with those executives, what you gonna say? You're gonna present your case fully. All right, why should we make these changes considering we making all this money and we're meeting these goals and the shareholders are cool and
Sales are
this that,
up.
is all
By the
right.
way, Smitty, right?
Yeah, right. Sales are up, the player numbers are up, the usage rate is up, all these games are being played. Why should we change it? Go. You know what I'm saying? And what are they gonna say? The game's got bugs and it sucks. Where 2K at? That ain't that ain't gonna do it. So it's like that's literally what Sim was saying, was like, it would be one thing if you had all these zeros. Just think about it. All the frustration that you've had over the years with Madden, and here you're making all this volume noise publicly. And this would be the perfect opportunity to be articulating these points. Man, let me give you this example. And I saw somebody say, like, when Sim did the premiere, I was in the chat, and was in there chatting with some of the people, and and some people were saying, well, there are situations that you just can't articulate it with words. The heck you can't. You can't articulate any of this stuff with words. People do it all the time on Twitter. You'll see somebody post a video clip, and then you'll see somebody type with words and be like, man, I had this play where I was running the ball and dude came from off the sideline and tackled me and stopped me in the game. Like, that's something you could type well within the character limit. So it can type these issues. And the thing is, Metacritic does not limit your characters like that. So you could put a nice amount in there if you want to say, yo, these issues, boom, 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 boom. Now, you hit them with that, now you working with something. Because now, once again, you could go to a meeting and be like, well, all right, pull up that Metacritic score again. Yeah, you got that 0.3. Now look at all these zeros. Now look, you'll have a few people that clown, but then outside of that, look at how all these people are telling you why. Franchise mode lacks this, core gameplay lacks that. You had this. I remember back in Madden 04, you had items 1 through 10, and now you don't have any of that. Now that's a serious problem. It's just like my man I be seeing on Twitter that has been tweeting stuff out for, he's doing 100 days of Madden franchise, and he literally has been posting stuff every single day of stuff that EA does not have in their game that was done in old Maddens. And that's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid, right? Posting the same bug videos over and 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 over again, that's not doing anything. Except, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's a bug. Oh, every game has that. Every game. It doesn't matter what generation console you go to. It doesn't matter what dev times they have. It's going to, that's there, right? That's always going to be there. Now, can they work on minimizing those frequencies of that happening? Oh yeah, they can. But when you're the only product available, that's nearly impossible to do. Somebody's going to run into that issue, and then they're going to post a video about it and be like, oh my gosh, and then people are going to co-sign off of it. See, that's why y'all always put out broke games. I could do the same thing with FIFA, PES, MLB, and any of them. Matter of fact, let me play Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, and let me find a moment where somebody morphs into anything. Oh my gosh, this game is broke just like Madden is because no, like, I can't, You know what I mean? And understand, we're not saying that those issues don't matter. They do. But I'm saying that can't be all you say. The overtone of the message just can't be this game just stays broke 24/7. That's not true. You have people that stream these games and play them, and you see it on screen. Yes, we're upset for various reasons, but at the same time, you see legitimacy in the games now. Like, no, we can't lie, okay, about it. We could all find it. It's easy to find a sample, but if you want to cut the crust off the bread and complain about the crust not being there, okay, fine. But I could talk about the whole sandwich because I can show you. Hey, man, let me show you this problem. See, like I did with the passing, just like how Sim did with catching and stuff like that. Oh, we can all do that,
Yeah.
but let's show you full games when we play. Let's show you just straight full games. Hey, man, the gameplay don't look that bad. Oh yeah, imagine that. I thought this game is always broke from A to Z and it never does anything right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we get that, but the I know people act like this is the same stuff that me and Sim got heavily scrutinized for and called sellouts and all that stuff for.
Oh yeah.
But it's like you gotta give actual feedback that pertains to the issue specifically that you have with the games. And we all know, yes, far and wide, many issues that we could all talk about regarding the game. That's easy to do. Oh, excuse me. But we have to, like my man Expert, if he's still in here, he did it earlier today. He did his around the Dynasty podcast kind of thing he did. And he talked with some people, and it's like they talked about good, they talked about bad, they talked about they voiced their frustrations as well. And it's perfectly okay. But at the same time, keep it a buck. Keep it a buck with what the game does have too. You can still say, man, the game to me is a 0, but it does have these few good things in it, and it does have this, that, and the third. But I'll give it a 0 because it's been too long since they've truly innovated. Oh, okay, cool. At least you gave specific facts and specific reasons as to why you feel the way you feel. And you didn't just say, man, it sucks, where 2K at. Like, you gotta give more than that. You gotta give more than that. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I'm with Sim, what he said in his video and everything like that. And I mean, look, yes, people see these numbers from Twitter and everything, right? That EA posted that picture. Understand, this COVID situation plays a major role in those numbers. Because think about it.
Yeah, it does.
People can't go to the gym, can't go to movies, can't go, you know what I'm saying? You can't go to many public places. So what's the best thing that you can do potentially for entertainment? Either Netflix it up, Hulu it up, Disney it up, Disney app, whatever. Or you could do something if you're a gamer, or if that's something you got a console and you just want to dust it off and play something. Hey, buy a video game. And that's what they'll buy Madden just to pass time by. Not necessarily because they give a care about the game like that. So of course those numbers are gonna go up. Just like I talked with Sim before about when they put knockout mode and when they were at the negotiating table with the NFL on that license. Hey man, our numbers were up last month. I think they was like talking about the month of April or something like that. It was like, oh man, our numbers for knockout mode were through the roof. I'm like, COVID happened. Folk are at home. Yeah, of course your numbers are gonna go up. Of course it's going. Man, we got higher this and higher that because everybody's stuck at home. So yeah, so that's why I'm looking at it like that. There's layers and levels to this kind of stuff that EA puts out there to make it look and appear like, oh man, they're doing sweet. They got these numbers. Dang. Oh well. But this is the key. Now, these are two key things. Number one, what are these numbers going to look? What are the numbers going to look like for this game when it comes to the quarterly results and they have those investor calls and things like that. That's number one. Number two, what's going to be the most gigantic thing is when 2K comes out with their game. If they hit, now what?
Voila.
You see what I'm saying? Now it may be a whole different discussion. So that's the kind of stuff we got to wait and see for. But in the meantime, yeah, if you really aren't feeling the game like that, leave that sucker alone.
That's the biggest problem.
Don't buy it. Yeah, I know. That's literally the big angry. And shout out to Angry Joe. His Madden video. It was an hour long, but my man went all the way.
And that's the thing, man. You have people. I gotta say this, and then I'll get into another point.
Yeah, go ahead, Sim.
You have to take some of the blame as the community. And let me explain to you what I'm saying. There's so many people that will continue to buy the game. You have plenty. Listen, do I always tell people, yeah, you kind of have to play the game for yourself to really know what's changed? Sure, and that's a true statement. That's what any game. I had to play 2K's demo to figure out, oh, this feels a little, shot meter's a little different. But is it similar to 2K20? Yeah, but it's different. But at the same time, there's enough footage for people that know what they're looking for to have seen the game before you bought it. There's EA Access. And even though not everybody pays for it, there was numerous videos. Smitty streams, I've streamed, and there's other people that have shown you gameplay enough for you to tell if certain things are still there, if you know what to look for. So, I'm sorry. Some of you guys have to take that blame too. The ones who keep buying the game. I mean, it's a comment right on Metacritic right now, and this guy says, Madden 20 wasn't good either, and I knew it wasn't going to be that good this year, but I was sold on Face of the Franchise, but this game sucks because Face of the Franchise is so dull and boring. I get it, but dude, you just said the game sucked last year. You knew the game wasn't going to be that good this year, but you were sold on that mode. So it's a surprise to you that that mode didn't blow your socks off? You see what I'm saying? Sales are up, and Smitty is absolutely right. We know the pandemic has a good chunk of the reason why the engagement is high. But the engagement wouldn't be high if people didn't buy. That's simple. Smitty and I are excluded from it. Like I said, I didn't buy Madden.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm just saying. I have to say that because again, I get the whole. But look, also I'll throw you guys a bone. Man, it's the only football game, man. And I got to get my itch. I ain't mad at that. Remember, I started this show by saying it's just a game, man. These are just games at the end of the day. Do what you want. I ain't mad at somebody who plays Madden. I ain't mad at somebody who don't play Madden. I don't know why anybody, because some of you guys in the comments do it. I don't know why people get so upset and bent out of shape about people playing a game and a guy says he likes the game, it's good, and you make it your best to tell him why it's not. Why? Like, my aim is never at the public. I'm never at anybody. Never going at any of you guys for buying, not buying, playing MUT. Hey, I don't play MUT. I don't spend money, but I know people who spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year. Hey, that's what they want to do. That ain't my business. Mm-hmm. My aim is at the company, make a better product. But I wanted to say this too, really quick, man. Listen, we all have our own opinions, and I'm never going to try to change anybody's opinion, but I have to say this. Some of you guys in here in the chat, man, y'all seem to think y'all know why things are happening. Me and Smitty know exactly why. This is one of them times when we can literally say, nah, man, we're telling you what they're doing. We're telling you how corporate works there. We're telling you how it moves up the chain. You don't have to do all that speculation. You don't have to say stuff in here like, oh, man, they've been making this game for years. They know what the problem. Of course, we all know that. But what we're trying to tell you is what makes them move. Y'all want proof? Why did Fixed Madden franchise blow up? That was a specific thing. Boom. Next thing we know is trending. Blew up because it was a specific thing. It wasn't just game's trash. Do you think Sean Grady or any of them comes out and makes a video to say,
Right.
guys, we're sorry the game's trash? They're not going to do that because,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that because it's not specific enough. Even though the franchise thing wasn't overly specific as far as details, it turned into that because it made them say, "Oh, what? What? Whoa, this thing. What's wrong with franchise?" Then the questions start coming out. Then they forced them to tell us what they was thinking, what they weren't thinking, where they going in the future. That's why I keep saying, look, man, I'm not believing the hype in all of these scores. That to me, that 0.3 ain't real. There are some valid ones in there, I'm sure, but it take too long to find them. You know, it's too many. Again, I'm not telling people how to behave, but again, man, when people got the knowledge, you gotta listen. I'm the type of person where I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. Never. I always want to be paying attention, listening, and learn something. This is a time when me and Smitty, and we've been telling y'all this for years. Y'all can learn. Listen to what we're telling you. We know. We've been there. We telling you. We know what makes that building tick. We were there when there's too many interceptions. Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
guys are unable to complete good passes. Oh, no, we got to dial it back. We know. Y'all act like we don't know. But what y'all want to do, which is cool, y'all want to speculate as to why this stuff is. All right. I'm not even going to address it. I'm not addressing it no more. I'll let y'all have what y'all think happens. Fine. Y'all do that. We know. So I'm going to say this one last time. We're telling you exactly what's happening. I would advise you to take heed to that. But if you want to believe that it's this reason and that fine, man. Don't expect me to address that part no more. Cause all right, cool. You believe that, and we'll just know what we know. The other thing is too. This is I don't even know how to approach the next thing, man. It's like you making the same point over and over and over really don't do nothing. That's the reason why, I mean, I'm so hesitant to give feedback now in terms of like, you know, just continuing to show the same bug. The better thing to do is to just let's really attack the problems in the game. Because like Smitty said, it's so many people in this community that don't know the difference between a bug and an actual problem. I'm going to big up again my guy, NY Kia. NY Kia shows you what's wrong with coverage. He doesn't just show you a bug that made a guy bug out. No, he says, all right, man, based off of this concept, 2x2 set, this don't work. Oh, wait. Trips, palms against trips, this ain't working. And he tells you why. That's feedback. Now, I'm not expecting everybody to have the acumen that he has, but I'm saying that's feedback. And that's going to be paid attention to. Imagine, and I don't know why my camera keep reflecting the light like that. Y'all see that? Keep going in and out. Imagine if NY Kia could put that on Metacritic and 5,000 people say the same thing. Boom. Now we got an issue. You see what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are not missing my point when I say that maybe I'm using the wrong words when I say it's pointless. I'm just saying it's gotta have some meat. If not, nobody's gonna look through all of that. And I get what y'all are saying. Man, so-and-so has a YouTube channel that makes all these videos. Yeah, so do we. But do you think an executive is gonna watch 1,000 YouTube videos? No. All they worrying about are the numbers. I can guarantee you right now. This ain't even speculation. Right now, I can guarantee you there's conversation in that building about what's this noise we keep hearing about the game ain't good. That ain't what the numbers don't say that. Hey, we're up
That's it.
20%. Sales are great. We broke records
Yeah.
with Madden 20, and look what we're doing with Madden 21. And I
Yep.
just froze for a minute. I don't know what this camera's doing.
It took pictures, I think.
Yeah, it's
It froze.
crazy, right? Maybe it knows I'm in rare form and it wants to capture the moment. I don't know. But guys, man, listen, and the only reason why we sound passionate like this is because, dude, we've been doing this so long for y'all. That's the real of it.
Yeah.
We could have easily just never talk about any of this stuff ever, and just
Like,
keep it to amongst ourselves. But
mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Now it's like this. We talked about it. We talked about it before. This was back when Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out. Well, excuse me, was getting ready to come out. The reason why they caught so much heat was because people got to see what they were about, what they were doing in a beta. Somebody played the beta, and went straight to Reddit like, yo, it's going to take all these hours to unlock. And these were things in the first Battlefront, it wasn't like that at all. So that's the thing. It wasn't like that. Now, if you want to use Han Solo, we're putting it behind a paywall. Princess Leia, Darth Vader, any of that, Luke, it's going to be a paywall. And on top of it, and if you want to grind, the grind is going to be ridiculous. I mean, you got to play. I forgot what it was exactly, but it was a ridiculous amount of time you'd have to play in order for you to unlock them. And this was in the second game. While you didn't have that in the first game at all. It wasn't like that at all in the first game. It was like you get so many kills or something like that, then you get him during the course of the match. Like you can become that particular character or whatever. Here, these dudes talking about, so you could either buy all these loot boxes and everything like that. You can buy whatever, I forgot, whatever in-game currency they were going to roll out with, or you got to grind this very tedious grind in order to unlock that character or be able to use that character. So, of course, people got pissed off about it. They're like, man, heck no. And that's the thing. It wasn't just hardcore people. It was hardcore gamers. It was casual gamers alike. It was the whole entire gaming community from both sides of the spectrum. And they were like, no way. They did what? Oh, no. And that's what that became like. I think that was like the most thumbed up Reddit post. Like historically one of the top Reddit posts ever. Yeah. Because that caused such a stir. What did that make EA do? Because the game was getting ready to come out and they had all that. What did they say? Oh, those microtransactions. We was just testing that out in the beta. Yeah, okay. Right. Because they sure enough took it out. And what was key was Disney caught wind. It was like, hey, well, hold on now. I know we made this exclusive deal with you and everything, but what's going on here? And then all of a sudden it's, no, we're going to open it up. No microtransactions, no loot boxes. And as you guys can see, if you saw over the course of like, what was it, basically a year or two, you saw how they went about that game all of a sudden. Free DLCs, all of that stuff. And then they went and re-released the game for the holiday season with all the DLCs and everything unlocked. Wow, it's funny. And then you even had the devs coming out saying, this is the vision we wanted to give you guys. You didn't hear that when the game first came out because that wasn't their clear vision. Yeah. Somebody above called the shot. But when they were able to do what they wanted, all of a sudden the game changed. But it was because of the community. People left copies on the shelf and people weren't even buying the digital. People were hitting Sony and Microsoft up like, hey, yo, I want my money back. This how y'all rolling? No, I want my money back. All that heat came from that. Yeah, that's gonna make corporate react. Oh snap! So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that? And understand? Let me make this part clear to you guys. The Reddit post didn't say Star Wars Battlefront 2 sucks. It has a tedious grind to it. I'm not buying. No, that's not what they said. They specifically broke it down and said, like, it takes 20 hours to get this, 30 hours to do that, 40 hours to do that. And man, also, they got this loot box system and all that. They specifically broke it down in the tweet. I mean, not the tweet, in the Reddit post. So everybody was able to look and be like, oh, snap. Now that's crazy. And understand this. I know we could say, oh, but you know, well, that's sci-fi and there's other shooter games and everything. Yeah, but they're the only ones that can make Star Wars games. No one else can make a Star Wars game. Only EA can. And look what happened. People was like, man, heck, no, you guys see all this? No. The hardcore crowd and the casual crowd saw it in plain English. The executives saw that. Disney saw that. And they made them changes. So take that and let's roll it all the way back to what Sim was saying once again earlier from his video. It's the same thing. You gotta have meat and potatoes. You gotta serve a full plate. And I understand, once again, we already get it's been the same thing's been going on for a long time, but that's what you have to do. And people gotta back it. That's the other part of it as well. We're the sports gamer, and I've said this on this show before as well. The sports gamer is extremely hypocritical. That's the saddest part when it comes to the sports gamer. So many people said, I was talking to this with my man, I don't think he's in here tonight, but my man Obi Watson, he said the same. We talked about this earlier. He said, I remember people saying months ago, man, I ain't getting 2K21. I'm waiting for next gen. I ain't getting it. I ain't touching that game, man. 2K20 got all these problems. I ain't touch. These cats are on Twitter with the box, Mamba Edition. These dudes got the game digitally, put their stuff on New Zealand so they could play it now. None of these sports gamers are thorough. Whine about FIFA, whine about Ultimate Team, whine about gameplay. Well, I don't say whine, but the complaints are legit. But the point is, well, why you copying it?
They can't help it, Smitty.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on Twitter. and I'm gonna show y'all how broke the game is. But didn't you do that for the past 4 years?
They can't help it, man.
It's what I'm saying. Like, you did the same thing for the past 4 years, and every time you keep getting the game. That's why when you look at Angry Joe screaming and saying, why are these people buying this effing game that keeps on doing the same thing? And it's like, that's the thing. A lot of them cats that are co-signing with you, they playing Madden as they watching your video.
They are doing it. They do.
Yeah.
They know I know they doing it. A lot of these people forget that they once befriended me on PSN. I don't forget stuff, man. Maybe it's a gift I have. I don't forget. It's hilarious to me. Look, man. Like I said, enough of us trying to convince. Listen, man.
It's
believe what y'all want to believe, and I think sometimes it's a little overblown too. Like, to say, I've seen people say nothing in Madden has changed since we've been giving feedback. That's not true. That ain't true. Nothing. But again, maybe you're saying that in general. But okay, yeah, a lot of the stuff that to me, again, the biggest hindrance in Madden to me right now is the 2-man animation sequencing. That's probably the biggest problem.
Oh, yeah.
AI could be better.
Yeah.
Player movement could be more fluid. But I'm sorry if you feel like there's absolutely nothing decent about Madden gameplay, this is what I'm going to say to you guys. And I got to say this, man, because it baffles me sometimes. I would rather you be the person that say, man, ain't none of these games right. I ain't playing them until like the one comes along that's on my level. Let's throw the round of applause for that. I want y'all to hear that. Salute. Salute to that guy. And we've met a couple of guys like that along the way. Now, maybe in the background they still playing the games, but I haven't seen them. They haven't been vocal. But these are the same people that will say, I'm just going to rock out with Maximum Football 2020. I'm just going to rock out with Access Football. Listen, great. I'm going to give Maximum Football 2020 my money this year, even if I don't play the game. I'm doing it. I've decided, and it's on record. So if I don't do it, y'all can call me on it. You know what drew me to them? Was what I said in the prior video. That man said, oh, we ain't got no pre-can tackle animations. We got physics.
Yep.
We don't need it. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. The idea alone. But let me get back to my point. Look at that clip that even I posted. Look at the gameplay. Now, that's not a knock at them. They're indie, they're small, but what I'm saying is there is no other game like that on this current generation of game. There is no other football game on these consoles that is going to blow the doors off of Madden gameplay-wise. And I'm just saying this to the people who go overboard. None of those games are going to be better than Madden. So I'd rather you just say, look, man, I can't rock with none of these football games. Football just ain't there for me. I'm going to rock with 2K because, you know, they pretty good. They pretty close to basketball. I'm going to rock MLB The Show because they're pretty close to baseball. I might even play FIFA. I might even play NHL. And I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but I'm saying sometimes I think people say stuff just to say it. Like, come on, man. Like, now, if you go back and you play some of the old school games, sure, I can still play APF. APF is fluid, smooth. I can still rock it. But I will be honest, a lot of people don't say this, but it's the truth. Play that game long enough, the problems in that game will start pissing you off too, and you'll be like, I forgot about that. Play that game long enough, same can tackle animations will start showing up. Play that game long enough, you're going to see 2-man animation sequence. I'm just saying. The stuff that me and Smitty are talking about that we want in Madden, no football game has done it. Backbreaker was the closest. But Backbreaker didn't have the bells and whistles, like the smoothness of it all. But when we talk about interaction, Backbreaker was it. That was it. And there is no other game on the market, past or present, that did it like that. So that took our feedback, it went up a notch. We like, whoa, that's possible? Oh.
Yeah.
Go back, guys, and listen, we've been around a long time. Go back and look at them years. Look at between 2000, go look at 2010 through 2012 and watch how many videos you find from myself, Azure, Smitty, Neff. Neff is still putting out them videos from time to time when we're saying, yo, EA, why y'all ain't got these physics? What's going on? Took them 3 years. See, y'all see what I'm saying? Our feedback is a little different, and I'm not trying to say nobody's better than anybody else, but we see it differently than some people. So, but you're not going to tell me that there are not decent moments in Madden 21. I think the gameplay is better than Madden 20. In certain aspects. It's better. Now, that's not me saying, and it's funny, Smitty, because people act like two things can't be right at the same time. We can't be critical about Madden and beat them down and then say something positive. I don't get that. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be at a point where this is what I like, this is what I dislike. Or be like some of the people here in the chat if you're really doing this, because I gotta say, if some of y'all ain't really doing it, you just saying it. But if you really have chosen not to play it, yo, great. I applaud that. Don't buy it. Thank you for not buying it, because you didn't fall into the trap. But don't be mad at people that are able to get enjoyment out of the game.
Right.
I will firmly stand on 10 toes and say I can get enjoyment out of Madden 21 on all Madden with a few tweak sliders.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Think about it. When I post some of them videos, right, the franchise videos, what most of you people be, man, how do you get the game to play like that? I'm not doing nothing but playing it. But what do? Same as Smitty. When we stream, when we see something that ain't right, whoa, what was that? Going to the replay and we like, yikes. Oh, this is still a problem. That's still a problem. But when NYKia does his breakdowns, is the whole video about how bad the coverage is? No. He shows you where there's actual football concepts that are happening.
Yeah.
That's why I don't buy everybody's, man, the game is trash. Because I need you to tell me why. This is just me. I'm not saying this is a requirement, but I need to hear people give me some information. Oh, what do you think is trash about it? I want to hear your thoughts. Not that I'm going to challenge it. I really want to hear how you got to, like, if I ask Smitty about a movie, I don't want Smitty to tell me, man, that movie sucks. And that's it. I'm going to be like, oh, for real, what was wrong with it? And Smitty is going to tell me exactly what he didn't like. Man, Sam, I don't think you would like this, man, because I know you kind of like this type of movie, and they didn't really hit this right? And they didn't, and the cut scenes, like, then I'll be like, dang, that's a pretty in-depth, all right, I feel you. Y'all understand what I'm saying, man? It's, again, we're not sitting here saying that Madden is great. EA is great. None of that. We on the same boat with y'all. Which is another reason why I don't get why, till this day, Smitty, people will still assume that I have an agenda. What agenda? Most of y'all would know. It's been 2 Madden games that I have not been to EA Sports. 2. I didn't have nothing to do with 20, personally. And of course, it didn't have nothing to do with 21. So what agenda, like what am I literally, what are we trying to protect here? Let's be real for 2 seconds. My relationship with the devs, I got that whether I'm in the program or not, by the way. I just want some of y'all to know that. Whether I'm in the program or not, I got the relationship with multiple people in the building. I technically don't need to be a game changer. That's just a phrase. I don't need that. I'm just saying, folks, stop being so tunnel vision with stuff. Like look at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, man, it's frustrating only because maybe, again, Smitty, maybe it's because, we are considered OGs in this community. It's like sometimes when you just see that the community could be so much better if everybody just could see the light and know which way to go. And the way could be that we all just stop playing. But y'all don't do that. Y'all won't do it.
Right.
Y'all keep buying it. Plenty of y'all in here is guilty. Let's be honest. We ain't gonna blame you, but be honest. Plenty of y'all in this chat is guilty. Y'all have Madden. Y'all might be playing it right now while you're watching this.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. And look, like right here, my man said, Mr. Averoni says, game is fun to him. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I don't like about our community, man. There's too much ridicule. Let me say that last thing, and then we can move on, Smitty.
Yeah.
It's too much ridicule between said voices or, people who are respected in the community. It's too much of that. It should never be a time where, let's say, who's a super duper sim guy? Okay, let's say NYKia. Let's say NYKia plays Mutt all day, every day. Every day. He buying packs and everything. There never should be a time when you hear Sim say, man, I don't know why Kia plays the game so much. Stupid. He's supporting EA. Why should I ever say that? Why?
Right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? And we have too much of that here. A lot of y'all in this chat right now, and a lot of y'all that are listening are guilty of it because you do it to me all the time. Why is it like that? I'm not the only voice, folks. You can have your own. You know, I don't have to do what you do. We don't have to agree on everything, but we should be moving semi in unison. It's a lot of people in this community that I don't mess with at all. Y'all know that. At all. But you don't hear me trashing them. You don't hear me knocking them. I'm still moving right along with them as far as the core aspects of what we're all trying to get. You might approach it that way. I might approach it this way. That's the only thing I don't get about this community, man. And until we get that together, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. Because, for one, we're still outnumbered, folks. Don't let that Metacritic review fool y'all. Sales are up. So that's all I'm saying. It just gets a little irritating sometimes, man, because I feel like we never can move. The only time we came together was fix Madden franchise. Did y'all see how beautiful that was? Did y'all see how much we was able to accomplish when everybody had the same vision? For the most part. Boom. And speaking of that, Smitty, unless you got some comments on this, let's talk about those patch notes there, because I have some comments about that as well.
For the franchise stuff?
Yeah.
I gotta pull that up.
Well, I'll say this real quick, man, and then I'll let Smitty give his comment. Why y'all so surprised by that? Didn't they already tell us what they was? See.
Hold up. I gotta say something on that one. Hold on a sec.
I don't get it, Smitty.
That's the thing. We gotta quit selective video memory and this amnesia thing. Like, don't read the articles and the blogs today and then get deneuralized the next day like nothing ever happened. They said, when they first put that first blog out, they said that list was tentative of the fixes that they had planned. So it wasn't confirmed 100% that list of stuff that they said they were going to do was going to be done. It said it was a tentative list. And it did say it was subject to change. So they never said when these updates were going to roll out. They never said that. They never said at launch it's going to be there. The day one title update, this is going to be it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you saw it or not, but dudes on Twitter was acting like that day one title update was the franchise stuff. Man. I'm like, no, they never said. It's said in there. They said they're waiting until I think the week of or the weekend before the season starts. They're going to have a blog and they're going to talk about it. So that way, yeah, they said they were going to have an article going in detail with it. Bang. The time comes and here's the article. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell us when the patch was going to come out. See, people planted it in their head that it should come earlier. Listen, see, you can't put the cart before the horse with this stuff. We get the frustration part, but it's like you letting the frustration run a marathon for you. Because you're running a marathon race in the dark with no flashlight. And it's like, no, but it should just be done. You know they should. We know that. But it's not. And we vented our frustrations. That's fine. If you still want to vent them. No one's saying it's a crime to. But we can't be playing the deneuralized game when it comes to this stuff. Like, we didn't know that there was going to be an article coming. We didn't know that these things were discussed. Yeah, they were discussed. You heard Sim say his piece. You heard me say mine. Am I cool with this? No, I'm not cool with it. These are minute things. Oh man, yo, you could edit your roster in franchise. You can do that in 2K. Everyone else can do it except Madden. We're gonna put their historic stats on them now. That should have been. You had that on PS2 and Xbox. So see, once again, it's like, and I understand you're not going to win. Okay, these situations you're not gonna win. You just got to take it on the chin with this. But come on, man. We got to quit playing that I didn't mean to take that away from you, Sim, but it's just we got to quit with that whole
Nah,
naive game, man.
that's
Can't be playing that naive game. It's
we do it so much, man.
so
Even with,
much.
let's go as far as saying this. In that original updates blog, they told us exactly what is to be in Madden 21's franchise, which we all have already said is just patch notes. Smitty did it. Smitty did a Periscope. I did a video. All of us did. So why, when the gridiron notes come out today and it's the same stuff, you act like this the first time you're seeing it? That's all I'm saying. It's like, again, the only reason why we say this stuff is we are telling you exactly how things work in that building. You can take heed to it or not. I'm not telling nobody what to do. Like, I even saw, like, shout outs to Raider 78. He was saying, oh, we've been saying this for you. Dog, I'm not telling none of y'all to do anything. Do what you want to do. I'm just trying to tell you, it should be plain and obvious. Even if there was no Smitty and Sim, you should be able to see with your own eyes now. Let's get real for a second. Y'all should be able to see the play without being connected. It's right in front of you. The company shows you what makes them move. The mere fact that a lot of you guys use that against us as your argument, right, is exactly what's going on. Most people will say, man, we've been giving feedback for the last 12 years. And we've been doing this. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That way don't work. As far as just it's trash. It don't work. Even for those who make the videos that, bash the game 100% every day, all day, that ain't changing nothing. What changed something? Whoa, a hashtag. Why did that matter? Well, because it was tangible. It was tangible evidence that this got all the way up. Mm-hmm. So even as a consumer, I need you to dig deeper. Like, look at that from the outside and be like, whoa, why did that work? What made that work? And that should show you how you should approach it. We've been telling y'all for years. Nah, we got to get to corporate. But y'all, some of y'all kill us when we say that. Oh, you're just trying to take up for the dev. No, I'm not. I'm trying to tell you where we need to go, who the fight is. You know what I'm saying, Smitty? There's no secret why Smitty and I keep screaming, Andrew Wilson, Andrew Wilson. Almost every video I'm saying that. Oh, yeah, Andrew Wilson. Like you told us back I'm saying that on, listen, y'all, I don't do stuff for no reason. I hope y'all know that about me. I'm purposely saying that almost every time I give a feedback video. Purposely. Hey, you can't do what you did in Madden 25. Hey, Andrew Wilson, remember what you told us? Hey, on next level, you can't do that again. Hey, Andrew Wilson. Come on, man. Like, open your eyes, man. And I get it. Look, I get it. Do it however y'all doing it. I'm just saying, don't mind me. Let me do what I do, and y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? That's all that's really all I'm saying. Like, I put it out there for those who want to listen, cool. For those who don't, that's cool too. I'm not gonna address it, man. I'm not gonna address it no more. I'm a big boy. I take it. Yeah, like my man right here says, Dominic Bowden says, need to stop buying the game, use updated rosters because the game is basically the same. And that's his opinion of how the game is. But what he said right there that I fully agree with, stop buying the game.
Yeah.
Especially you guys who keep saying it's the same. Listen, I be seeing y'all. I see y'all. I've been watching y'all for the last 4 years. Some of you, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say names because I don't do that kind of thing. But I promise you, there are guys that consistently say they are done with Madden. They forgot that we're friends on PSN. And every year it comes out, they have it 2 or 3. They have it months beyond EA Access. Well beyond a Redbox rental. You bought it. Why do you keep buying it? Take a stand. And y'all know what I always say. I never tell people to buy or not buy. You know what? I'm going to break a minor rule right here. Take a stand. If it ain't for you, do not buy it. Don't buy it. Simple. There's options for you right now to play the game. Redbox is an easy way to do it. or go get a used copy if you can find one from GameStop. Play it, take it back within the time. Or watch enough footage, man. If you watch enough games, if you catch people who are streaming the game, especially even the competitive people, you'll see what the problems are.
Yeah.
And the last thing, a lot of people say, how can you get enjoyment out of the game? How can you say the game is better? It's the way I play. I think guys like Expert could probably agree with that. The way we play the game, we have a different experience than a lot of people who just jump on Madden. Maybe all of the nonsense doesn't bubble up all the time because of the way I play, the style of play. So I can have an enjoyable experience doing it that
I'll be
way.
right back.
Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, man, I don't know. We didn't want to turn it into one of these type of shows, but when it's live, things happen on the fly, and I think it's always good banter and good conversation. The last thing I did want to say, man, and then Smitty can pick up when he comes back. The NFL, the drop EA hashtag is great, right? It's just like I said today about the Metacritic. It's great that EA is getting this negative heat. Like, that's going to help. But again, while y'all worrying about EA, now we talking about another big dog. Now we talk about the NFL. And most people are just saying hashtag NFL drop EA with no context. How is that going to help? That's all I've been trying to say to people. And again, people are taking it the wrong way. Not everybody, because it was pretty good reception on the video. I mean, dog, how we gonna convince the NFL to drop EA? How? Without telling them what's wrong with it. Now, again, my mind state. What am I telling y'all? Executives, let's think beyond just the game. Now I'm telling you to go even beyond EA. Let's look at their partner. How we gonna convince them if all we saying is drop EA? You know what they're gonna do? You guessed it. They're gonna do just like this. They're gonna pull out their notes, look at the books. Well, they've made more money than they've made before for us this early on. What's the problem? We're talking about the NFL, okay? What's the problem? Well, this guy here says the game just sucks. It's the same every year. What's the problem? They're buying it more. So why do they want us to drop EA? Now again, this is not a it's not like everybody's, approach is the same. Of course there's people giving valid feedback, but what I'm saying, it needs to be more of that than it is just pile on in order for us to get some real traction. Because again, the common denominator in this whole conversation that we're having tonight, what I was talking about in the video, what we're seeing on Twitter, the common denominator is now it's working. Now we know there is a path to get to a corporate executive, whether it's at EA or the NFL. Because what I was saying, Smitty, when you stepped away, is that the whole NFL drop EA, now you really got to give more context to why. Because now we talking about the NFL. And you have to explain to them why we're saying this. We can't just say, oh, Madden sucks, it's been the same. Look, they just going to look at the numbers.
Right.
Remember, they just did a contract renegotiation. You think they don't know who 2K is? Come on, man. We got to think further. We got to think well beyond the surface. To make change, you have to be very specific. You have to be. And again, if some of y'all feel like we've been doing that for years, fine. Don't do it no more. I'm just saying, if you're going to be on this train of Madden being, why did I go dark again? I don't know. Madden being the only game in current year product. If we're all going to be on that train and we all love football and we want a better product, then we have to try to get the better product the best way possible that's going to get heard. That's all I'm saying. If you've chosen not to do that,
Yeah.
then I rock with you as well. Don't do it.
Mhm.
That's all. But what you think about that, Smitty? The NFL drop EA? Do you kind of feel the same way about that, or what are your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm all about them going ahead and opening it up or whatever, if possible. Like if it does actually gain that traction, like like excuse me, like in the monopoly and fix the. Let me see, what are they saying? What are they saying today? Hold on, I gotta go back. Oh well, I don't see it now. The tweet was up. Well, I'm pretty sure it got overshadowed because of what's been going on recently with the Raptors and everything. Amazing finish. Amazing finish.
Yeah,
Y'all were down with zero point 0.5 seconds left, and then you bad defensive assignment because they had a 2K bug happen on the court because they left my man wide open in the corner. He
jeez.
busts that three. But anyways, no. The thing is, I don't see the one that they got going on right now, like End EA Monopoly or something like that. I think that's the one going around. But the thing is, nevertheless, if you really think that you're going to stop anything or you're going to all of a sudden just slow things down, you have to have you're talking about big business slowing all the way down,
Yeah,
reconsidering and making a change of direction. The community has to make a valid case.
that's
Period.
that's
You
simple.
have to make a valid case. You got to look at Take Two Interactive. You want to talk about their money and everything like that and what they're doing? Go to the Take Two Interactive when they have their calls. I'm pretty sure they have them publicly posted because they're a publicly traded company. So I'm pretty sure they have their conference calls logged. And when they report them sales, you can be like, oh snap, they made X amount more money than EA did off of blah 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 blah. But see, now you also got to factor in you're going to be talking about the things that you don't like: microtransactions, my team, VC. Because guess what? If 2K makes a football game, what do you think's going to happen?
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
Microtransactions, VC, all of that. It's all going to be in there. But that's the kind of stuff you got to bring. Because look, you're talking about Goldman Sachs and all these other big name, like you talking all these big wig stuff. You're not coming through on some, man. You can't come through with the mom and pop logic. You can't come through with a flaw video made by somebody in the community or multiple people in the community. Nah, you got to come with everything. You got to have the visual evidential problems, and you also got to come with the numerical data and be like, this is why this is why you need to open a license. Look how little you're making off of this company when you could be making X if you gave it to these guys. Now, I'm not saying pull it from EA in its entirety. I'm saying let them create, but also let somebody else create too. Then watch what happens. You see what I'm saying? That's ultimately what has to go down. Just doing the hashtag and everything is cool. Once again, like we basically what we've been saying throughout the course of this show, how you feedback is going to be the most important thing. You want to quarterback some real moves, you gotta process things through on a quarterback. You gotta look on your sleeve and check out what plays are valid. And the thing is, you only got one or two plays. You probably got 50, 60 plays. Only two of them are valid for this circumstance. So you got to figure, do what you choose to do. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, you got to come to the table. You got to come to the table for real. Like for real, for real. Lollipopping, going somewhere with that. No one's going to give a care about you because you're not bringing value to the table.
yep.
And that's the main thing we're saying.
That's all we're saying,
Video
man.
feedback, comments and posts, the whole Star Wars Battlefront thing, all that stuff. You got to give in-depth feedback that people can look at, consume, and say, "Wow, dang, I ain't know it was like that. Wow, this is crazy." So that, oh yeah, we got to make some changes. You see what I'm saying? And that's all. That's all it is. That's literally it.
And the funny thing about it too, man, if you guys saw the Pat McAfee show and saw some tweets here from Darius Butler, it's funny how this is a guy who's played in the NFL. It might still play. I'm not 100% sure as far as Butler, but he spoke from a gamer perspective, and he even gave an example of something that's not right. He talked about they don't move correctly. This is what we're saying. Now, there is a possible bright spot to even the way this feedback is coming out. Even though I went through all of how we should approach it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What it could do still is the fact that Metacritic is so low, it could still ruffle some feathers. And what it might do is it might force the suits, the higher ups, to listen to the devs now. Because yes, that happens. A lot of times the devs are fighting for things that they want and need and must have, and then it's shot down. So even with this being not so technically not the best way to provide the feedback, it could still help because it could have that effect. But that's really the whole point, man. And man, we burnt up these 2 hours. See, I told you guys sometimes that's why we can't promise that there's gonna be a call, opportunity for calls, because a lot of times, especially this week when there's a lot to talk about, we got to get it out. But that's all we were saying, and to end the show, man, I think we should let's just rehash the whole. I would love for us to get to a point, man, where if whoever your favorite viewer is or not, because I do realize as well, Smitty, there's people that watch us that really don't like us. That's weird. But we got to get away from the whole, the getting at one another. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get it. I mean, everybody can have their own approach. There's some people who play Madden every single day and they give valid feedback, but they have a good time. They enjoy the game. As y'all hear my son talking there, he was sneaking his way down in here in the basement. I saw him peeping around the corner, and now my wife is calling him back. But you know what I'm saying? We got to get away from that. I want to end it on that. I want to end it on a positive message. Like, we got to stop doing this. Because either you're insane where you watch me and Smitty, or when you watch us individually and all you want to do is counteract and disagree, and slander everything we say, that's a little strange. I don't know why you do that. Or if you are actual fans, I don't hate that word fan, but if you're actual supporters of ours, hear us out. Don't just go crazy anytime we say something that might seem a little different. Find out why we saying it. Like, hear it out. It's weird. It's weird that people do that. I don't do that. That's just me. Maybe that's just my personality. I gotta hear you out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hear. Well, let me see where he's going with this. Because normally I'm on the right side with him. Let me see where he's going with this. But it should never be that you're trashing people that you're viewing, unless you just don't. Unless you just here for the first time or whatever. Great. But y'all know what I'm saying. It's a lot of people who routinely view. So there's something about us that that you're into. I don't know what it is. Yet all you want to do is slander. That is very strange to me. I just wish that, I'm going to try my best to get this community to stop doing that. We don't have to be friends and buddy, but, we're all in this thing for the same reason. And for those who have decided not to participate, applause to you, hats off to you. I respect that, because there's very few people in this community that follow through with saying they're done with Madden. They ain't playing it. They not buying it. Very few people. So that's all, man. Let's be better. Let's be better. We can be a better community, man. We're much stronger if we are walking the same path. Even though I might take the left side, and y'all might take the middle, and then this person might take the right. We still going to the same place. That's how you got to look at it. So that's all I got, Smitty, man. Anything you want to say to sound us off here?
Basically, appreciate everybody coming through, hanging out. Expert came through, Tico, Live King, all you guys, man. Dez, Scott OG, you know what I'm saying? Our main man right there, like just everybody coming through, man. Like we always appreciate having these dialogues with you. Y'all be safe out there and be careful. You know what I'm saying? Wear them masks, wear them gloves where they necessary.
Yeah.
And just be careful and safe out there, y'all. But that's all I got, man.
And I'm so glad Smitty said that, because that too, dog. There's way more stuff to be upset and mad about than, come on, man. It's again, I know y'all hate when I say this, but I have to put it in perspective because Smitty and I, whether we like it or not, we are now quote unquote public speakers. You guys look to us, and that's not a negative thing because I do that with others. But you guys look to us to hear our opinion. We might not be the biggest channels in the world, but I think we're well known throughout the community. So things we say do have power. So with that said, come on, man. Do better. You know what I'm saying? It just come on, guys. Let's get it together. And it's much more stuff that we could be worrying about than, a video game. I know y'all hate when I say that, but it's just a video game at the end of the day. We shouldn't be this far into our feelings at this stage of our lives. Like, come on, man. It's just a game. Remember when I said, what if they never get it right? So what? You turn your back on them and you move on, or y'all really gonna hate this. You try to get the best enjoyment out of it that you can if you just need football. There's no crime in that. And then people trying to judge, and this is the last thing. I know I said that, but I gotta say this too. People out here trying to judge them off the pandemic. Like, what? It's sickening. Because you know what happened, Smitty? They did the same thing with the unfortunate and untimely shootings of True Boy and Spot Me Please. It was the same type of stuff. Oh, they gonna try to use that. That's sick, guys. That's sick. It ain't my job to determine how good or how bad somebody performed during the pandemic. I agree with you. If another company can perform at this level, then you should be right there with them. But I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and much more stuff to worry about than these video games. That's all I'm saying. But we're gonna get out of here, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm gonna steal something that Joe Budden says on his podcast that I think is funny. Shout outs to the first time viewers. Shout outs to the last time viewers. Some of you guys would never watch us again because we done pissed you off. But shout outs. You came through to check us out. But other than that, man, I hope everybody has a great weekend, a nice long weekend. Got Labor Day coming up. Hopefully you guys are off on Monday like I am. Be safe. Just be smart. Whether you believe the virus or not, come on, man. Just be smart about it. At this stage, we all know somebody who's been affected. Other than that, we out. We see you guys next week. Peace.